Okay, peeps, welcome back. Good morning, all. So, today I'm going to be talking about Mara, my next swing trade in the stock market, and how much I expect to make. Let's get it. So, you guys are probably wondering, what is Mara and why did I pick Mara? Well, in short, what Mara is basically one of the largest Bitcoin miners in North America. And for those of you guys that know anything about crypto, in order to mine Bitcoin, there has to be people that are mining the Bitcoin so that people out there on the marketplace can buy the Bitcoin. Okay. And mining the Bitcoin also secures the network. So these guys are not only in the business of crypto, but they're also critical to crypto on top of that. So if I go over here to the company website, you guys can see the company website. There is the MAR price. That's how you know I'm looking at the correct ticker symbol here, correct company. The market cap is 2.09 billion, so they're pretty large. They get about 25 million traded over 24-hour volume, so it's a very volatile, very heavy interest level stock. It's got all this different information here. You can take a look at SEC filings, who to contact, stock data, financial info like financial statements. I can't really think of what those would be right now, but basically statements that they have to make to the SEC and the government and all that jazz, and investors, news events, yada yada. You guys can check this out in your own time. What I'm looking for here is the overview of the company. So it says Marathon Digital Holdings is one of the largest, most agile, and most sustainably operated Bitcoin miners in North America. The company converts energy into economic value by processing Bitcoin transactions, creating newly minted Bitcoin, and keeping Bitcoin's distributed ledger up to date and secure. Exactly as I told you guys, basically securing the network and mining Bitcoin so that investors out there can buy Bitcoin off the market. Because if the miners are not mining, there's no Bitcoin to buy, and well, that's just how that works. So they actually have a number here. They're based in Florida, which is probably one of the most bullish states for crypto right now. They have an email, all that jazz. Now, if I were to compare Mara to something like, let's say, Riot blockchain, which is another large US based Bitcoin mining company, you can see that the metrics are pretty similar. The price is similar. The market cap is similar. If we take a look at the price action is pretty similar. You had a $10 move, basically up to about $20, and then back down to roughly about the same price as Mara. You go back to the charts here. We got this move from roughly about the same time, June timeframe, $10 all the way up to roughly about $20, and it moved back down to $11-12. So Mara and Riot are pretty much synonymous. They have heavy correlation, at least in the immediate short term. So Mara Digital Holdings, my goal here with this particular swing trade is not to take profit over the next couple of weeks to next month. My goal here is to start averaging into this position now for the next big crypto bull run, which in my opinion, there's no way for me to know this for sure to time it perfectly, but based on the cycles, I would say that's somewhere around the end of next year to the beginning of 2025. So if I get some skin in the game now, and the potential of the Bitcoin ETFs being approved, there's no telling just how high this thing could go. But if I were to do a potential price appreciation metric from the current level to the previous all-time high, you're talking as much as 557%. That's about a 5.5x. If I were just to be more conservative and say, okay, it's just going to go to this resistance level here, which is where pretty much more or less where the two peaks were on the previous bull market cycle for crypto. It's about 350%. That's still a 3.5x. So if I have $1,000 in this thing, that's going to yield me about $2,500. So here is my short-term position. You guys might be wondering, well, why do I only have $500 in this? The reason being is because the unemployment rate just ticked up over the last month over the previous ADP jobs report, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But on top of that, like I said, this is a longer term play. So I got in with less capital right off the bat. Initially, I was going to put in 1,200. But I decided to take the 800 plus the profit and put that into OARC. As you guys can see here, my OARC position is substantially increased and the X date is just right around the corner. And I'll use capital in the future to average into more of this position, but uh, for some reason it's not going to show here. I suppose maybe if I go out to the weekly, you might be able to see it. But so as you guys can see at the start of the year, this thing was only at $3. And if the price keeps going down, well, I want to be averaging into this. I don't want to buy everything right here and then, my cost basis goes down 75%. That's not what I want to do. So if I go over here to the let's see, to the unemployment rate, you guys can see it ticked up 0.3%. This is going to show an entirely different chart. So you guys can see it was kind of sitting around this 3.5 from August of 2022 until pretty much now. And then you had this big spike. Now, we did have one like this previously between April and May where it was 3.3, then 3.7, then it went to 3.5, then 3.8. What I definitely do not want to see is this thing start trending up and starting to make higher highs. So I'm kind of trying to hedge against that by increasing my passive income. This is a topic for another video, but you guys can kind of see a similar thing going on here. It's starting to slowly make higher highs, and then unemployment goes parabolic. That's kind of a warning sign to me. So I only currently have 2 swing trade positions open, not including Mara. So I want to play a little bit more safe here, at least until next month and into the next crypto halving cycle. And plus, we have plenty of time, guys. I mean, Bitcoin's probably not, this is not a prediction, but Bitcoin's probably not going to even break its previous all-time highs until the end of next year. So you're talking maybe 12, 15 months, something like that. But anyways, so let's talk about the underlying asset here, which is Bitcoin. And I guess technically I would be starting crypto early. I said I wasn't going to do it till next month, but Mara is a crypto-based stock. So technically this is not a crypto video, but we have to talk about crypto because they mine Bitcoin. So let's go over to the chart here. I pretty much base my macro perspective on the weekly when it comes to trading and macroeconomics. So I'll just give you guys a small example here. You can see this golden cross. It's pretty hard to see, but if you look closely, you can see it. Once we had that, boom, price took off to the upside. And then you get this drop. The EMAs are kind of a lagging indicator, but you get this cross to the downside. That was a pretty strong indication on this rejection candle here that we could potentially be going lower. Then you get the golden cross, boom, goes up, retests, goes higher. And then you get this death cross here, and look at what happens after the death cross. So after the death cross, this thing went down almost 70% from the death cross to the most local low, which is about 16K. Then you get another golden cross, and this thing goes up again. Bitcoin went up about 51%, so that's pretty good. And if I zoom in here, you can see again that this is from a trader perspective, not necessarily investor perspective. This is technical analysis. This is what traders use to trade the market. Some investors do. I do. Not all investors do. But you can see these wick rejections here. You get a rejection here. Price goes lower. Rejection, 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 rejection. Price goes lower. And then you get this big, fat, nasty red candle, which I'm assuming was based on the spot Bitcoin ETFs getting rejected by the SEC. So that's a pretty large drop, 13% in one day. And then you got a maximum of 14%. If this thing gets a death cross right here and it rejects off of it, it's going to go lower, guys. In fact, it could go all the way down to where this macro trend line is, which is sitting at about 18,000 on Bitcoin. You can see I have it drawn all the way back to 2019. So if that happens, basically what I'm expecting to happen for Mara. Oh, Mara. So let me go back and find it. I'm going to find it here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. So basically what I would kind of be expecting to happen is pretty much looking for the price to maybe go draw that macro trend line there. Maybe for the price to go all the way down to as low as like around $6 before potentially having a retest. So from my current entry to this level is a 50% drop. That would allow me to average into this position pretty nicely over the next 12, 18 months. And it would also increase my upside massively. Let's say that I reduce my cost basis down to $8. Let's say I got, my cost basis got reduced to $8 over the next 12 months. That would increase my upside to 145%. Well, actually, if I was going to show this to you accurately, I should do a comparison here. So we'll just say from here to here, 72%. To this peak, you get 180%. And to this peak, you get roughly about 400%. Okay. So if I had a cost basis that was average about $8, talking 151%, 314%, and 600%. So as you guys can see, averaging down over the next 12 to 18 months, and this is a longer term play, would increase the amount of upside that I have substantially. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful in some way. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Peace.